Good evening. Well, I'm raging I didn't go first. Because how do you follow that? You quite simply can't. I just want to join with Alice and join with everybody here in thanking Grania, Lara and Ben for what have really been inspirational stories. I want you to know they've been inspirational because whilst they've been simple stories that you've been telling and they've been stories of your own experience, certainly I learned an awful lot listening to you, and I certainly picked up an awful lot that not just everyone in this room, but everyone in this country needs to take on board in terms of how we interact with people with autism and in terms of our understanding and knowledge. So please know the power of the story and the words that you shared with us tonight. And thank you very much for doing that. That's very good. Alice just reminded us at the start of the evening that it was in this very hall, in this very church, 14 years ago, February 2002, when a number of us first gathered, and all of us were living with autism in some ways, be it a son or a daughter or a brother and sister or indeed ourselves with autism. And I suppose there was a general palpable frustration in our town and beyond our town that we were all being told lots of things by the experts. So people were looking on Google and checking out what does autism mean or what does Asperger's mean. People were being given a label for their child and said, there you go, there's your label, your child has autism. And really, there was a lot of fear and there was a lot of worry, because whilst we still have a big journey and a lot of work to do in terms of autism in this country, we were even further back on that road then. There just simply wasn't the same degree of awareness that we probably begin, thankfully, to take for granted. And what happened in the room just across the road, I think they're just in the room across the corridor, was parents decided, and siblings, that they wanted to share information and really that they were the experts and that they had a huge degree of expertise between them. For every mother of a child who was 5, there was a mother of a child who was 7 who said, oh yeah, I've been there, I had that experience, and this is how I dealt with that. And that sort of knowledge and that sort of information sharing really brought about the AAA Alliance, an organisation that I'm so proud of and that Alice runs with such great energy and gusto. And it did a lot of simple things. You know, it never set out to cure autism. It never set out to solve world problems or any of these sort of things. But what it basically said was, we got together and shared knowledge that we had as families, and if we undertook a couple of simple activities, we could provide a degree of support and information for each other. And I think, you know, some of the examples that I think back on that proved very effective was the trip to the cinema. So a lot of parents used to say, well, my child is on the autistic spectrum and I can't bring it to the cinema. Because as we're learning in this exhibition, you know, overactive senses and stimulate, touch, noise, smells, the darkness, the cinema was a nightmare to do. But, so we booked out the cinema in Greystones, the now lot closed cinema in Greystones, the one-screen cinema in Greystones, and we booked it out. And the lights could be left on, and if people didn't want to sit in the seat, or people had to leave halfway, it was no problem. We did similar things at summer camps, and I think, and I hope, that those sort of simple activities gave people an opportunity, I suppose, to avail of services that they might otherwise not have had. And tonight, if you don't mind me saying so, I don't often get a chance to say it, and I particularly don't often get a chance to say it in our hometown. I want to say how proud I am of the work done by my brother Adam. And everywhere I go as Minister for Health now, I get introduced as Adam's brother. And I'm very proud to be but I am always amazed at the most peculiar places that I turn up. People would say, are you Adam's brother? So Adam, the work that you're doing with Katie and Grania and everybody in AsIAM is already making a real difference, and I've no doubt as you go on to the next stage of development in AsIAM, it will continue to make a very, very positive impact. And I'm very, very proud of the work that you do, and I know that it will continue to be a great success. But I suppose when you started, the first time, obviously grew up as Adam's brother, I'm 8 years older than him, and I obviously got to know quite a little bit about Asperger's syndrome and what it was like living with somebody on the autistic spectrum in your house. But when you first wrote the article on AsIAM.ie describing what it was like to live with autism, even though I'd grown up with you, it was really quite moving and emotional to actually see somebody put in words what it was like. And I think you described it as like being an alien kind of landing on a foreign planet, and the rest of the things that us take for granted, the things we see, the things we do, the things we touch, the things we say, how they were all just that little bit more difficult, that little bit more challenging, and how there was that need for learned behaviour and that need for a little bit more acceptance. And to see somebody that you're related to and that you love and that you live with, you know, putting words on how they felt in our country, I think is a very powerful message. And I see this exhibition tonight and this exhibition that will travel around the country as really that next stage, because it gives us all in a very real sense an opportunity to see what it's like to literally stand in the shoes of someone with autism, to put on what to us seem like the funny glasses and try and read the words on a sheet of paper, or to try and balance on that funny balance board in there, or to have the different senses running over your hand. And these are things that are a novelty for us, and it's a little bit of fun for us to come in and try it out, but there's a real important message in this, because this is how people with autism feel every single day in our community. And you know, I think there's a lesson here. I mean, I read in this book, you know, that autism is a disability, and clearly it is, and clearly there's additional challenges that face people with autism. But I think that we actually stop. We need to be very careful that we as a society aren't the ones doing the disabling. Because I think quite frankly we are. Because some, as you reminded us, Ben, some of the most intelligent and successful people in the world, Lara reminded us, you know, some of the most intelligent people in the world, clearly more intelligent than I was thinking, remember these, are autistic. And people have gone on to great and amazing things. And the people tonight with autism in the room, the people giving us their testimonials, Grania and Lara and Ben, they're not asking us to help them with the lotto, I'm sure they might. They're not asking us for world cruises. They're not asking us for massive changes in the world or the challenges they face. They're literally, in their own words, asking us for acceptance, for kindness, for patience, for understanding. So, whilst I have a massive body of work to do in my role, and I'm really looking forward to doing it and making sure the voice of autism is heard in government and is heard in government decisions, we need to be very careful that we don't just say, oh, that's the government's job, or oh, that's the HSE's job, or that's the school's job, because there's a job for all of them to do. But really there's a job for all of us to do, there's a job for every single one of us to do in the community in terms of awareness. And I think this exhibition is going to be a really, really good step on that road, and I wish it every success. And I think we all are duty-bound to leave this room and spread the word and get as many people as possible to come and visit this exhibition and follow this exhibition as it goes around the world. And what was the line you said? Your hashtag?
I'm part of the answer.
I'm part of the answer. I think that really does sum it up, because we all have to be part of the answer. The government, yes. The service providers, yes. But all of us as citizens of this republic. And I think if we all leave saying we're going to be a part of the answer, I think we can make a really positive impact. So congratulations to everybody, and thank you very much.
We're just about finished. Simon, we're looking forward to seeing your selfie with your because in your new position you most certainly have actually answered a huge part of it. I'm just going to finish.